Hey, this is Marcello from Gone Cosmic. You're listening to Doomstew, and keep on throwing back them wobbly pops. Woo!
This is the Doomtombpodcast, Podcast, a podcast for all things stoner, doom, and sludge, where we will interview local bands as well as nationally touring acts. Today on the podcast, we have the three-piece band Beira, based out of San Diego, California, and we talk about a whole bunch of stuff. We did this at the Electric Bat Arcade in Tempe, Arizona, and it's a side spot from Icke Tap Room. We didn't know if it was going to be loud or not, so, I wasn't sure. There's a lot of pinball going on, a lot of classic arcade games, so you might hear that in the background. But you know what? I think it adds to the ambiance, don't you? What we talk about is so many things. We talk a little bit about their Halloween costumes. We talk about superpowers. We get into a little bit of shape-shifting technology, and we go over their latest album. And if you hang out towards the end, you are a superhero in and of yourselves. The band Mosara is a local band in Arizona, and they have this guy, John Quinn. He is the drummer. He stopped by just to give thanks to Beira for putting on such a dynamite show. And you know what? He had a lot to say. He was pontificating. He was expounding his love and just his overwhelming joy about stoner, doom, and sludge music and what the scene meant to him. You could tell it's really heartfelt, and I had to leave it in. I want you to listen to it. If you feel just like John, drop me a line at doomtombpodcast@gmail.com or hit me up on social media. Now it is time to get with the band. This is Beira. This is going to be a different kind of interview. We're at Icke Tap Room. A lot of times we're outside. You're going to hear some background noise. I know people say when I apologize for it, they laugh a little bit. But we are actually on the other side of Icke Tap Room in the Electric Bat Arcade. And I'm with all of the members from the band Beira. And let me tell you something. Damn it, they brought thunder. This was the last day of their tour, and we had a crushing night. A little bit of different bands of every style in the doom genre. We had some sludge, we had some groovy stoner doom, and we had this great band, Beira, that brought just a little bit of everything and encompassed really the whole night. Now, could you all take the mic and just go around and introduce yourselves and what you play?
My name's Chris, and I play the bass.
AJ, drums and vocals.
Hi, I'm Ruby, and I play guitar and vocals.
Right on. Thank you so much. I know you all are based out of San Diego. Now, being in San Diego and now a different area in Arizona, how does that define your sound?
I don't think it does. I think our sound is so personal, and so I don't know. We're all kind of introverts, and we all kind of have our own like fantasies and things that we like. And we of course we're influenced by our friends and other bands that we see, but
right.
Personally, I feel like it's all coming out of my head and my heart. So it doesn't really have to do so much with where I live.
Absolutely. Now, the thing I was really curious because I heard you in the check before the show. What were you singing? What was the track that you were singing?
So I was singing Nessa, which was our first song that we actually played.
Right.
But I like to sound check with that because I feel like you can't really hear what I'm singing.
Right.
When all the loudness is happening. So
sure.
I kind of like do that just to give people a sneak peek of like what that song is actually about.
It's weird because when I heard you doing it during the mic check, it almost sounded like some kind of Gaelic.
I like that.
Yeah, something like that. And it was, really, I got to say, it was really beautiful as it was coming out. It was like one of the more unique mic checks that I've ever heard.
Oh, that's so nice. It's definitely, so it's Scottish mythology, which is basically, Gaelic.
Yes.
Beira is the goddess of winter, and her other name is Caliac.
Yes.
And Nessa there's a story that I found with Beira and Nessa, and she just punished her so hard for like something that like any typical young person would fuck up. Can I say fuck up?
You could say whatever you want.
So this young girl fucked up, and she had to pay like for the rest of eternity, and for some reason I can relate to that, and so yeah, it's from that mythology, and I just wanted to like share that story that was related to Beira. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And I've noticed that you have some incredible fans. Not only tonight, which this was a great crowd tonight. It was a hot crowd.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
But also I saw you've got some famous people wearing your shirts. Now
Really?
I didn't know Susie Sue is a fan of Beira. I was shocked.
Yeah.
And
Turns out.
Somehow I can't even imagine how. But no offense, by the way. Kurt Cobain also
Right?
monster fan of Beira.
Yeah.
I'm really shocked.
Yeah.
Do you reach? I mean, I know you can't reach out to Kurt. Have you reached out to Susie about this?
Yeah, well, I mean, both of them are really ahead of their times, and they knew what was coming next. Like,
Yeah.
we all kind of knew that, but
They knew the progression of the Doom scene.
yeah, I think that's why we love them, because they knew what was coming next. And,
Yeah, they were looking forward, away from the
Yeah.
alternative,
Yeah.
away from the grunge.
Yeah.
They knew what was coming up next.
And it's just fun because like those are for me personally like my idols, and to think of them like being fans of me, it makes me feel like, why wouldn't they be fans of me?
Absolutely.
I'm fans of them. Why wouldn't they be fans of me and us and like what we're doing? I feel like we're all kind of in the same vein, and we're all kind of expressing the same emotions, and I feel like we're all together. So that
Okay,
was a way to express
now as
that.
you said that, can you give me a top few tracks of Nirvana or a top few tracks of Susie and the Banshees? Something that really moves you, that you really get.
Everything on Bleach. Yeah. I really appreciate that Nirvana like went the pop way, the pop route, and I think Kurt Cobain was very much about pop, and I think we have a little bit of pop in us,
Right.
but the darkness, there's just like that really fucking dark shit. Like that's what people relate to
Absolutely.
with him. And Susie, I don't know as much about her, but I've been compared to her before, and
Okay.
just the way she looks, and that she's the godmother of goth, and that she was never afraid to be herself or like be a little bit ugly, and I just feel like that's what we're doing.
Wasn't there a track that she did, like something like "Kiss Them for Me" or something like that?
Oh yeah, that was
I
what
rem-
Donnie was telling us
I
about.
remember that
Yeah.
track, and there's this point where I remember it was around that time when like PJ Harvey was like a big deal, and some of her stuff was just so dark,
Yeah.
and so bleak. I'm waiting for the next person like PJ Harvey,
Yeah.
and I haven't found it
Yeah.
yet. So anybody out there that knows, please
Yeah.
hit me up. So just to change gears here, Kerrang did this thing about metal bands in San Diego. I know you played with some of them recently. How'd you feel about that? It must have been some kind of honor.
Oh my gosh, it was so nice. It was written by Jeff Tarich. I don't know how to say it. But he was a writer with City Beat, and like from the very beginning, I don't know if he went to like one of our first shows, but from the very beginning, he was all about us, and we just felt like really honored that he like got it. Like we weren't sure that people would get it,
Right.
and not that it's hard to get, but like he got it, and then so he started writing for Kerrang, and that's really cool. And I forget what the other bands were. But
There was so many. Occult was on there.
Yeah,
Defiction was on there.
CULT. Yeah.
Yeah, and several others that we've played with before, and there's so many more bands that weren't even mentioned on there that are holding up the metal scene out in San Diego as well.
Absolutely.
But it was just nice to be a part of that, like to even be recognized in 8, you know, like it's pretty good.
Sure. So if people are out in California, you must check out San Diego because they got a hot scene right now.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so because it's so sunshiny, but we're upset still too.
Look,
There's doom and gloom everywhere.
believe me, there's doom here. I mean, Arizona. Let me tell you something. First off, I don't understand. I feel like I'm making a stew in my shorts earlier because it was so fucking hot out here. I mean, right. I rarely sweat inside, and I don't know what it was, but it's we officially switched from cold. You know, dude. You know, Chris. It's like you've officially switched from like, oh, it's summer. It's hot. It's just hot, and it's so funny when I see some bands that come through, like maybe Montana or Michigan or something, and the first thing they say is, "How you doing?" I'm hot, dude. I'm just hot. I'm a very, very hot. So there was some switch going on tonight. And
it was an oven out there.
Yeah,
my skinny jeans were sticking to my skin. I wish I wore shorts.
Now, I went back a little bit on your social media, and I saw this kind of like this black metal Halloween thing. Like, what was that? And did you play a show dressed up like that?
Yeah, so our very first show was on Halloween. Very, ominously, maybe, serendipitously.
At a good friend's house that we worked with, actually.
Right.
And we just decided to do some corpse paint and do the whole black metal thing just for fun that night. And
we always kind of saw ourselves as like being very dark and very like black metal, even though we have a lot of doom.
Right.
So it just seemed to fit, and it was really fun. Oh, and the cops came like in between in the middle of our second song.
Caliac, actually.
Yeah, which was about 10 minutes in. Thankfully, we have long songs. And the show got cut off, but that was that was one of our best shows, like, because everybody wanted more.
So let me ask you this: while you were in the paint, did you play any black metal covers, or maybe is there something in the future?
No, not really. I mean,
I think we played like a Sleep cover and an Electric Wizard cover, but
oh, really?
Not black metal.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you ever throw covers in? Like, I know you just did a tour. Do you ever throw anything in? Bring them around, or
not really?
Say that, Chris.
Oh, we only did covers really in the beginning when we didn't have a lot of other original material, just to fill time.
Yeah.
Yeah, our songs are so long that we don't really have a whole lot of time to do covers.
Yeah, and I noticed that. I'm going to get into that a little bit later. I want to talk about the length of the songs from Volume 1 to Volume 2, if there has been a change in that. Now, you know, I noticed that the poster for this event was gorgeous, beautiful. If you could tell me who the illustrator was, that would be phenomenal.
His name is Stephen Barnes. He's originally from Phoenix area. Now he lives in San Diego, and he drums in the band Nebula Drag.
Oh, Nebula. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, fantastic. So now, and here's the other thing. It's like with seeing the tour and honestly going back on your social media, you have so many great posters. Like, you've got some killer illustrators behind you. Is that intentional? Is that to bring forth something in your, to tell people, through illustration of what your music is? Or, like, do you know what the concept was behind, like, the poster that we saw? And
that particular one, I don't know. Steven tends to do a lot of the 3D, like, kind of hologramic looking stuff.
Right.
He's super good at that.
Absolutely.
A lot of the posters from earlier on, actually, Ruby made herself for a lot of our shows, and just taking like kind of sci-fi books and mythological different types of artwork or whatever and mashing it all together.
So is that a side project for you? Do you think you might do that for some other bands?
No.
You're just gonna keep it
I
for
think
yourself.
I just got lucky.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like I was just kind of inspired.
Well, Well,
But yeah, Steven has done the majority of the really, really cool ones. And then I want to mention also our T-shirts. Like the very first T-shirt was Harley and J. It was the lady with the black and white and blue. Harley and J. We found her from. She's from Australia, and she just does a lot of really cool. I don't know what it's called. T-shirts and posters and band artwork,
merch,
and graphic design, and.
Yeah.
And I loved everything that she did, and I had a feeling that she could do something cool for us, and she did for sure. And that then our name above that became our logo for a long time. And then Volume 2 was just a friend of ours from Peoples. We work at Peoples in Ocean Beach. That's where we met.
Right.
The three of us, Ocean Beach, San Diego, and Kyle was just a coworker there, and we knew that he was a fan of metal.
That was Kyle Bowen.
Kyle Bowen.
Yeah.
And we knew he could draw, and we just asked him to draw something, and we loved it and made it our album cover. So.
That's great. Now, I know that you have Volume 2 out on Doomstew.
Yeah.
Do you have a story? Like, how did that come about? Like, how did you get in contact?
Oh, well, we knew Jordan, who runs Doomstew. We've known him from playing with his band called Broom, based out of San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And I was just searching different labels, just filling it out. And he responded, and he liked it, and he wanted to put it out. So the rest is history.
So with that, I saw the release, the LP release. It looks gorgeous. I'm a sucker for some colored vinyl. Was that your doing, or was that his interpretation of the band, or?
So Pirates Press, they're the ones that put out the record, and it wasn't any extra charge to do splatter color on the record. So we wanted it to kind of match the colors of the cover, which is brown and like off-white color, and we were able to find a splatter paint that was kind of match those colors.
And it matched perfectly. Now, I listened to Volume 2 first, and then went back to Volume 1. And I wrote these things down. It's kind of funny because as I'm writing it down, and then I think about what I've seen. Like, I saw this band a couple days ago came through here with Full of Hell. The band was called Primitive Man. And they actually have an album called Caustic. And it's exactly what I wrote. I wasn't even thinking. I was like, listening to your music for Volume 2, that's what I put. I put primitive, caustic, this constant looming sound. Do you mind if we go over some of the tracks for Volume 2? Let's do that.
Absolutely not.
Let's get it done. Let's figure this out here. Volume 2.
Okay.
Circle. What I wrote that there was like, I felt this kind of dungeony vibe, this dungeon fuzz, that the fuzz worked in with the drums to fill in the void, and everything just, like, the drums just came crashing in. The fucking sound of these drums, dude. And, it's incredible because, like, sometimes I see a band and I'm like, I don't know if it's going to get pulled off live. I'm just going to be honest. Mm-hmm. God damn, man. Yeah. It's so big. Your drumming, it's not just the notes, but it's the way you're playing. You have this like reach up like this, and bam, bam, bam. It makes for such a more dynamic show.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just trying to hit those things as hard as I can, man.
Yeah, I
would feel it,
I was talking to one of the bands earlier, Hovenweep, and Wade is the drummer, and I said, dude, I was thinking about slow-mo videoing as you were hitting, just to see how much those cymbals are bending.
I feel bad for my cymbals. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm actually like, before the tour, I'm like, I got to be careful with these things. They got to last the whole time. But I hit them like with the intention of breaking them every time.
Oh, there you go. So can we start off with Circle? What can you tell me about that track?
I think we have to mention Dale Holland, the guy who recorded and mixed our album. We recorded the drums in a giant room with how many mics?
I think 16 mics on my drum set.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must be the help of to create that big sound.
Yeah. He mic'd the top and the bottoms of every drum, and then we had a few room mics. It was like a huge room, just picking up all the room sound and everything.
Right.
Really killer. I loved it.
And I got this feeling in the song of there's. It's almost like the idea of a crisis of war.
Definitely.
Like there's a battle going on. And you're trying to figure out what side to choose?
Yep.
Would you agree with that statement?
That's exactly what it is. Yeah,
right
and
on.
That not really, either side is not really like the right side. Like
there's blood on both sides.
How is there ever any right and wrong? Yeah, it's all ugly, all of it's horrible, and sometimes your brother's on the opposite side, and you wonder how this ever happened.
Yeah. It's exactly what I felt. And
awesome.
What can you guys tell me about Black Monk? I felt there was some kind of borderline possession, like a false deity, seductiveness of the eternal search for love and protection. That's what I got out of that track.
Wow. I like that. So that song is about depression.
Okay.
And how seductive depression can be, because depression can sometimes save you from your really intense emotions, and you go into this numbness that kind of like helps you to shut down. But after having a lifetime of depression, it kind of starts to piss you off, and you kind of want to like be yourself again, and you want to fight this motherfucker.
Right.
But if it's your lifetime, what's the word? Like, if it's your lot in life, like, maybe this depression is your friend. Maybe this depression is there for you to help you learn something. And maybe you struggle with this, energy, person, spirit, possession. You struggle with it, and you kind of become friends, and it kind of like, I don't know, somehow...
The depression.
You become one with it.
Yeah, and it's almost like you're owning it. And look, we've talked about depression a lot on the podcast, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just if you own the idea, and it's like this is what it is.
Yeah,
it makes it a lot more palatable.
Yeah,
and you can deal with it better.
Most of us have it, and if we can talk about it, that would be helpful. And if you can accept that that's something that you're dealing with, and you can,
And it is such a brutal thing. I gotta tell you, man, earlier this week, I don't remember what day, I think it was Tuesday, I was so fucking cranky. I have no idea why. I couldn't put my finger on what, but you ever get those days, I'm gonna go home, I don't even care to eat, I don't wanna drink anything, I just wanna go under the covers, and I wanna wait for the sun to come up. Okay, so there was a guy here tonight, this guy, Ian, he's in the band Stone Witch, and he and I were talking back and forth. I was like, dude, I am in the worst fucking mood today, and I just wanted to, and I didn't know what I was saying to him, but actually what I was saying were the words to Annie. Like, the sun will come out tomorrow. I'm like, the sun will come up. I'm just waiting for the sun to come up tomorrow. I'm like, holy shit. I'm speaking in musicals now. What the hell's wrong with me?
Well, sometimes the cheesiest things are true because they're cheesy for a reason, Like,
yeah, pretty much.
We all suffer, and we
all have our days.
Help each other out with it.
The hardest part is like, that was one day for me. Try doing that every day. It's exhausting.
Oh yeah.
It really is.
And I feel like I can't really be angry at, like, some people, they just can't do it, and they kill themselves, and I would never condone that. But sometimes you're like, well, at least they're done. Like, at least they're not suffering anymore,
it's a weird concept because
the desire to kill yourself is a coping mechanism,
Yeah.
And if you can, like, grasp it at that point without actually doing it, you can make something out of it. But if you don't make it, then we understand. But
it's a very delicate slope.
Yeah.
And just a aside, if anybody has that, if anybody feels that they need somebody to talk to, I'll be the first one. Hit me up, talk to me. I've had fans contact me through private message and stuff. There's always somebody here for you. Just know that, people. And we're going to continue right now. I'd like to go into the next track. Sensei, I just put internal struggle.
Yeah, that one's about like looking for the answers and trying to find a good teacher, honestly, and feeling that all the teachers that you have found have maybe failed you a little bit, and not maybe trying to find the teacher in yourself, which
Right.
sometimes that fails too.
It does.
Yeah.
It can. But
Yeah.
you know, there's that is a very important point.
This
It's
is
like
getting really dark.
you.
I swear we're fun.
It's a dark room.
I swear these guys, you're all fantastic. But yeah, it does happen. This, you know, this is, you know, sometimes it's where hope fails. It doesn't work sometimes, and you know, like, well, fuck everything else. I gotta find me. I gotta do me.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you get inside yourself, and that comes back out again, and it takes time, like anything
Definitely.
else. And you know
practice.
what? There's a brilliance in your work because you're actually putting it down, and people are hearing it. I'll bet you, bottom dollar, that somebody's going to hear this, and they're going to say, you know what? It can be better. It can improve.
I hope so.
You're doing God's work, is what I'm saying.
I hope so.
What can you tell me about Ancient Ones?
So Ancient Ones was just kind of a fun one. I was just had this little thing about how I like fairies. Like, I like the idea of like little fairies who like run around and tie your shoelaces together.
Wasn't it kind of from the Brownies and Willow?
And the Brownies and Willow, like how they're just all, they're like the cutest, funnest thing of the whole movie, and they're
They're little pricks too.
they're little pricks, but they're the happy ones. I'm like, that was the thing about that one is how unhappy like human beings can be.
Oh, hold on just 1 second.
Okay.
Ren, how the hell are you, brother? Get on the mic and say who are you, sir?
I am the bartender paying the bands. Now I'm going back to work. Hello to everybody.
Don't do that.
Thank
Ren,
you.
Ren, so tell me, I know that you're in this kick-ass band. You got it. Just tell me, say to everybody who
Really?
this is, and why the fuck should everybody go see this band?
It's three bands actually. The Dark Hearts is one. The second one is Broloaf, who I play drums for, and the third one is the Fighting 48th. And the Fighting 48th is gonna come back, and the Dark Hearts are gonna come back, but I'm in school right now, so we can't really do it. But June 28th is the Broloaf show for the 4th of July annual Patriotic Meltdown. So you guys come out to that if you're at Yucca.
Awesome.
All right?
Oh yeah.
See you later.
Thank you
guys
so
have a good
much.
one. Thank you guys.
Love you, Ren. Dude, last time I saw Broloaf, they're this huge party band. Anybody that has a chance.
Broloaf?
Yeah, Broloaf. And
that.
it's almost like pro wrestling on stage.
Yes.
It's a journey. It truly is a journey. But it's such a great time. And I just had to get him on my... I know he doesn't like to...
That sounds really fun. We came up with a fun band on the road called Body Shots Bros,
Oh, right on.
where we just do body shots off our bros all the time.
That
It's
could
a little
get
less
weird.
depressing, but you know. Maybe it's actually more depressing in the long run. I don't know.
That'll get weird in the long run. That's definitely going to get weird. You know, now with the Ancient Ones, I just put in they're like miscreants, like jokers.
Yeah.
There's almost like this the thing that I saw or felt about the song was like they're impeding this path to enlightenment, and it's almost like they're giving you a little bit of difficulty in actually finding the happiness. And this seems to be like a running theme here.
Yeah, they're fucking with you to show you how ridiculous you're being, and maybe you should just stop and be happy. You
There
know,
you go.
like people that you look down on, sometimes those are the ones who are the happiest because they're not taking themselves so seriously.
There you go. That makes total sense. What can you tell me about Crone? I just wrote down Mother Nature, but lies and deceit.
Yeah. So that song is kind of about my grandmother, but kind of just about like older people, older women who I always felt like they kind of see what you're doing. They see how you're fucking up your life, and they don't do anything. They don't say anything about it. They just kind of look at you and laugh and be like, oh, okay, well, she's going to go through that, and I'm just going to watch it happen, and it kind of makes me mad. Like, fucking tell me that I'm fucking up. Like, give me a little bit of advice here, you know?
Yeah, give me a little help, would you? I mean, as
I
an
know
elder,
you're wise, so don't hold on to it. Like, spread it around.
just holding back.
Yeah.
And for shine and burn, I put that it's like more of a exchange from life to death.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just fire and like throwing all of your bullshit in the fire, basically. Yeah.
And just like getting rid of all the bad shit, or
Getting rid of it and also celebrating it because it's shine and burn. So shine is like make it as big and as beautiful as you can make it, and then like fucking destroy it. You know?
nice.
Yeah.
I like that. So it's going to be a real big, high flame.
Yeah, very big and high.
Giant
and,
fire.
Yeah. And when we're playing it, I'm basically inviting the audience to just throw their shit at us and let's fucking burn it and like move on.
We'll burn this place to the ground.
Yeah.
I love it. And now, with that, would you suggest as this is burning, like maybe a cookout of some sort, like maybe a barbecue or something?
Yeah, I'm a shish kebab kind of girl.
A barbecue.
You're both barbecue people?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've had this odd like kind of fetish lately with this knife. It's called an Almazan knife. It is a huge knife, and there are these people. There's just one channel on Facebook. I think it's called Yellow Teeth, and they rarely, if ever, show their face. You might see their mouth, but they make all this food. It's outside. They're using like sticks to stir stuff, and it's real primal. And I am addicted. I can't wait to buy this knife. There's something about when it cuts through something, it makes such a beautiful sound that I cannot wait to get this. But I guess that would be the perfect knife for this fire and the barbecue that we're gonna have.
Yeah.
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 Just bring it.
Whatever gets you going. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever brings
Let's
you to the
do it.
dance.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I did notice from the difference from like Volume 1, Volume 2. Volume 1, the songs were a lot longer.
Yeah.
Now, in Volume 2, you cut down the time. Was that a conscious decision? And if so, why? Chris, did you have something to say?
It wasn't really a conscious decision. It was just how we ended up writing our songs for the second album. Just came out a little shorter, but still the same running length as the first album.
I feel like AJ had a big influence, our drummer, because a lot of the songs we wrote before he joined the band.
Right.
For Volume 1, and then he started helping with the writing at the end of Volume 1 and then Volume 2, and he's a lot more upbeat and a lot more just balls to the wall, and so we just kind of like we just got a little more higher energy, a little less droney, and
Right.
yeah.
That makes total sense. Now, the first track, can you say the name again?
Caliac?
Caliac. What is
Yeah.
it? So I can't even read what I wrote there. I don't know what that is. But Queen of Winter,
Yeah.
and it's more Scottish, and it translates to Old Woman Hag.
Yeah.
And she's a creator of weather and ancestor deity. Or she's
Yeah.
a creator deity
Yeah.
and weather and ancestor. So does that mean anything? Does that bring you somewhere? Because
Yeah. So Caliac is basically another name for Beira, but it's an older name.
Yes.
And it just makes me think of the creation, this giant goddess, this like cruel but creative goddess. Almost like Kali in more of the Indian cultures, like kind of scary, kind of like not like the most benevolent deity, but very very motherly still.
Right. So this deity is very, very straight, like blunt, like just straight to the point.
Oh yeah, she's a bitch. Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
As she should be, as all of us women should be. All of us men and women should be.
So
I'm a bitch.
a bitch and a lover and a child and a mother.
A sinner and a saint.
You got it.
We are
right
not
on, dude. Love it. So this is the last date of the tour. You've had a lot of bands that you've played with. Of them all, and I was running through it, I think the one band that takes the nod as the funniest name is Touch Fuzzy Get Dizzy.
Right? Yeah.
What was that about?
So we looked it up. It's like Super Mario World, Super Mario World 2, level 7 maybe, and that's the name of the level. I hope I'm getting this right, you guys. If I'm not, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But the name of it is Touch Fuzzy Get Dizzy.
All right, fair enough.
And it's the weirdest name. It's maybe not the most easiest to say or the coolest, but that band is so fucking good.
They blew my freaking mind.
Yeah. They were one of our favorites for sure. And they had like 3-part harmonies, 3 different screamers, and from Chico, like whoever knew. I never even heard of them. They were amazing.
What genre would you put them in?
No idea.
Okay.
I would say still Doom. Like, it was super heavy and sludgy.
Right.
But then they just threw in elements of that, you know, like the 3-part harmonies, and then they would shred on the guitars every once in a while, but it was still kind of slow and super heavy.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that based on the name whatsoever.
Yeah.
They were great.
So aside from this phenomenal night here, which we're all going to say is one of the best nights of the tour,
It was the best night of the tour for sure.
Thank you. Of course it is. You're the best crowd ever. To the left, to the right, and all of it. But were there any other dates that you like somebody really blew your skirt up other than Touch Fuzzy?
I particularly really love Dead Now.
Right.
From our second show in our hometown, San Diego. They were on tour with Royal Thunder.
Yes.
They were really amazing. They blew my mind. Really, every band was great. Cosmic Reef Temple and Supernaut and Pacifica were both awesome. Abyssal and TJ and our friends Garth Algar, you know, we've played with several times. They were with us in TJ. Love them too. Into the Storm was mind-blowing in Portland. Like, we've had some great shows. 10 Sons.
10 Sons from Seattle. Glasscoat from Portland.
Yeah, Glasscoat and Wolflot.
Yeah, Wolflot. A lot of we play with some really, really good bands on this tour.
Misery Men.
Yeah, the Misery Men, we played with them in Portland, and we didn't really have another band to play with us in Astoria.
Right.
So they came and joined us down there, and they were really cool. Like the dude, Corey Lewis, he's like the main guy in that band. He's a super cool guy and a good songwriter. It's really fun.
Very nice. So all in all, every date you just crushed.
Pretty much, yeah.
And bringing some great crowds and just getting the word out there, man.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Is you gotta, I tell bands here, man, I love you guys to death. Now please leave and go tour, be successful, prosper. All right.
And you never think of one of the best side effects of going on tour is getting to see a bunch of really sick bands that you would have never seen otherwise.
Right.
And making friends with them. That's amazing.
And you'll keep that friendship, and I bet you damn well the next time you go out on tour, you're going to hit them up.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
And they should hit us up, too.
Okay, now I just want to switch gears here, because I've asked this question, but I'm going to change it a little bit. I've asked this before. I want to know, first off, and don't answer just yet, if you could have a superpower, what would it be? Now, this is the new caveat. If you don't choose one, you get to take 20 samples. You could sample 20 superpowers, but when you choose one, your superpower gets reduced to 80%. And then every superpower you test after that, it drops another 10%. Now, do you want to go with one, or are you going to test a few and stick at 80% of your powers? Please go around.
So logically, of course, I would test powers, but I kind of already know that I want to be a shapeshifter. I kind of already am a shapeshifter, but I would like to be a little bit better at it, and I'm pretty sure I would fucking have a great time.
Are you a fan? Do you know anything about David Icke?
Oh yeah,
So,
the lizards.
Yeah, so
lizard people.
are you? Is there something
And
going to
Carlos
happen?
Castaneda.
Should I go grab some crickets or something for you, or some mealworms or something? Or is that what's going to happen?
Yeah, well, it's probably already has happened. So
you know, I don't want to say anything. Like, there was a point in the show where you kind of looked away a little bit, and I didn't know if something was happening. You didn't really want to show the crowd. So I'm not going to you just leave that to
Yeah.
you. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really want to hang out with George Bush or Donald Trump or any of those people.
Okay.
I want to shapeshift for good,
Shape-
or a different kind of evil, maybe.
Now, have you ever? Wait a minute. Have you seen on YouTube? Because I'm a big fan of going down YouTube hell. There was this YouTube video of a Secret Service guy that shapeshifts, and he's been Secret Service for multiple presidents, I guess. Have you seen that one yet?
I've seen a lot of them where the eyes go like the pupils go
the
vertical,
slits
and
stuff.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Seriously, like, are you buying it, or are we? Is there something where it's going to happen in camera photography, or?
I haven't seen that, but I believe in all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of the video of that is fake, but I think it's real. I think you just have to be in the right state of mind to like maybe see it or go there. But fuck yeah, it's real. And fucking aliens are here and everything. It's all real.
Indians are here.
Aliens.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Oh, aliens. Okay, so our
Indians are still here.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of reservation. We have reservation here, and there's people,
so why don't you call them Native Americans? Isn't that strange?
it is kind of
People in
strange.
California call them Native Americans, but the biggest Native American groups are in Arizona and New Mexico, and they're still called Indians.
I got to
Isn't that
admit,
weird?
I normally do say Native American.
Yeah,
But-
I'm not trying to like bash
no.
you,
Yeah.
because that's just like a normal thing that people say.
We get so
but
used
when
to
I hear
it.
Indian, I'm thinking like Indian.
Like Middle Eastern.
dot.
or-
Yeah.
It's
really funny.
I agree, and
Yeah.
it's a thing sometimes, and I've had some discussions with some people because I not only go to this kind of show, I'll go to death metal shows, black metal shows, whatever. There is a very high contingent. I see a lot of Native Americans at death metal shows and black metal shows. Wasn't really sure why, and I feel honestly, I'm white, so it's like. I feel kind of weird asking, but there was somebody that I felt comfortable with talking to, and I said, "What is it really?" And I'm no disrespect, I'm just curious. And they said, "It's our plight. It really is. It's
they're
we went
fucking
through
pissed off.
we went through a lot of horrible
Yeah.
shit, and this is that music. We just identify with
Yeah.
it. We identify with the harshness of it,
Yeah.
and the reality. It's like there's a lot of people, and he was telling me this. A lot of people don't even leave the reservation. They don't even feel like they're part of society. And I was like, and I thought about it for a minute. I really gave it honest thought. I'm like, I don't see them at like our supermarkets. I don't see them out a whole lot. And I was like, you know what, dude, you're right.
Yeah.
And there was a fantastic Revolver magazine came out recently within the past year and did a fantastic expose or article about all these different bands that they barely ever leave the reservation. And I was like, wow, there's a whole lot of music just in that spot. And this one guy I was talking to, this is how weird it gets. Like, it felt strange that he was coming in to one of the venues and he missed the first band, and he's like, what did I miss? I told him, and he says, oh, yeah, good, cool. I was at a powwow, and I'm like, you had a meeting with somebody? He's like, no. It was an actual powwow. Like, I actually had a powwow, and
it's still a thing.
And it's still a thing. And I asked him about it. I was like, so you enjoy it? He's like, whatever. It's like, it's culture. It's church. Elders, and I do it. And I said, wow, is that open to people? Like, can I see that?
Yeah.
He says, absolutely, dude.
You
Check it out.
should.
Because there's a definite hypnotic part to it. And I would love, honestly, to hear that, whether it's in death metal, black metal, doom, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I would love to hear that incorporated. And, because a band like Sepultura, they incorporated it with Roots, and it sounded phenomenal. And it was like groundbreaking in the genre at the time. So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize. I got off on a
It's the
tangent.
same spirit. Same spirit.
Okay, so you're a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
And
Yes, she is.
and what would you be, sir?
Oh man, I got so lost. I would fly.
You fly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
All right, fair
Who
enough.
doesn't want to fly?
And Chris, what would be?
I don't know. I was gonna say fly, but maybe like if I was fast. It'd be ultra fast, like the Flash or something like that.
Like the Flash. Okay. All right, I got you. You know, I wasn't sure exactly. I was gonna go with not time travel, teleportation.
Okay, yeah.
And the only reason
Damn it! Why did I forget that one?
Well, I saw one of the Back to the Futures, and you know Biff made a ton of money.
One of them.
Yeah. Well, look, I saw 1 and 2, refused to see 3. You're not going to get me to see it. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. It just won't work. I'm sorry.
So you're telling me you haven't seen Back to the Future 3?
No. Are all the answers revealed in 3 or something?
No. There's no answers. It's a movie. It's a fun movie with Michael J. Fox, and you got to see it.
I don't know. I just don't know if I can go.
Christopher Lloyd, come
Yeah,
on.
and Biff Tannen.
Well, I'm sorry. I stopped
You're trying to Marty McFly, and all you did was Biff Tannen back there. Sorry, buddy.
And you know what? It's like my girlfriend gives me shit because I've seen Lord of the Rings, the first one. That's it. I saw the first Harry Potter. That's it. And she's like, you know what? One day, we're just going to spend the entire day watching the deluxe editions of every Lord of the Rings. I'm like, oh, jeez. And now,
You have a very good girlfriend. She's very patient with you.
She's patient and she's kind, yes.
You will be happy when she finally takes care of you, puts you in your place.
Has there any place that you have not played yet that you want to play?
Europe.
Yeah.
Anywhere in Europe. Germany, England, France.
East Coast. We haven't made it to the East Coast
Yeah.
yet.
Oh, really?
East Coast.
Oh, okay. Now,
Chicago.
so let me ask you this: with the Boston, you said?
So we've only played California, Mexico, Tijuana, Arizona, and Oregon and Washington. I would like to play all the rest of the states one day.
Nice.
And go to Europe and Japan. I don't know. South America.
Now, here's the question. Because of the lyrical content, because of everything that you've told me so far, what is it going to be like when you play Ireland or Scotland and you break this music out?
That's a really good question. I hope they're cool with it. But me personally, that's like my heritage, so hopefully they'll be welcoming. I have been to England before, and literally every single person I met there was so warm and charming and just wanted to get drunk with you. So I think it will be okay.
There's something about that accent, and I know it sounds crazy, but it's like, it was always so welcoming and so charming.
It's quite lovely, isn't it?
It's quite lovely.
Real chatty and real
I
warm.
I thought it was going to be rubbish, but actually it's quite brilliant.
It's quite good.
Yeah, it's quite brilliant.
Yeah.
So, who would you say are some of your early influences?
So obviously me, Kurt Cobain. Yeah. He's too big anyway. I don't want to talk about him anymore.
Okay.
Say the main one, Black Sabbath.
Yeah, obviously Black Sabbath.
All right.
Yeah, we worship them. And Sleep and Electric Wizard. What do you think, Chris?
The Melvins.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it amazes me that through all this time that they're still going around, still touring, and still like just crushing every show. They come through here at least twice a year, and every single time they bring it, they're just out of control. Now, aside from the bands that you were touring with over this past tour, what other bands are on your radar right now? What are you listening to? What's in your car?
I've always been a fan of Jex Toth, even though like we're not really all that similar, but I just like really would like to see them and her and what else?
There's a band called Worshipper that's really awesome.
They
they just put out a new album.
Yeah.
They're super great. Their old album's really great too.
They're
love those
fantastic.
guys. Yeah.
I love John's voice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And his guitar playing is amazing. Like everybody in the band is like great.
Everybody brings it, and it's kind of. I'm blanking on the drummer. I could see
Dave Jarvis.
Dave Jarvis. Yeah, just to hear his voice, because he's got that thick. Jarvis. He's got that thick Boston accent.
Yep.
And
he's awesome.
They are such a great bunch of guys. I saw them recently. I did an interview with them a while ago, and I am super excited to hear that new release. I haven't heard it yet. I know it's out, and it's high time I should listen to it.
Yeah, it's really good. I checked it out not too long ago. It's awesome. Just like the first album, it's great. Our buddies, Great Electric Quest. I don't know
They're over in Europe right now.
They're in Europe right now.
Yeah.
And we're good friends with them, from being down in San Diego and stuff. They're super good, and everybody should check them out and love on that stuff.
Yeah.
I got spoiled because Electric Quest came through here maybe 3 or 4 times in a year, and now I haven't seen them in almost a year. So I feel like I don't have anybody standing on amps barefoot in a pair of socks.
Buddy's he's insane.
And I don't have anybody waving a flag around me. Or talking about beers in hell.
Yeah, they know how to put on a show, that's for sure. And they know how to play their instruments.
Yes, they do.
Super good.
Oh, they're fantastic. I love, I don't want to say it because I don't want to ruin it if anybody hasn't seen it. I just love what they open up with. Have you seen?
Oh, it's been a minute since I've actually seen them live, so I'm not sure.
I'll talk to you about it off mic. I don't want to ruin it for anybody that sees it. But trust me, when Great Electric Quest opens their show, it's a great opener. You don't want to miss it. If you can go around, what are your go-to YouTube subjects? When you go on YouTube, what are you looking for? I know you're looking for shapeshifting.
So I'm really into drag, RuPaul's Drag Race, and any kind of drag, which I see as shapeshifting, and it's very weird, and I'm not very girly. But these men are more girly than I am, and I kind of adore them, and
right.
I will never be that, but I admire their shape-shifting abilities.
Fantastic.
And I can't get enough.
So through influence of Ruby's, I also watch a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race, and I'm super inspired by that, just because it's nice to see people get to do what they want to do and be appreciated for it.
Right.
It's cool. Other than that, I usually just watch guitar and drum videos. That's basically it, technique shit,
And Chris, what are you going for when you're going on YouTube?
I just mainly watch band stuff, live footage of different bands.
Right.
That's about it. Yeah.
That's your go-to. The Melvins, obviously.
Yeah.
So, if we could just go around, if you could tell a little bit about what gear you're playing on tour, and maybe something that you haven't gotten yet, or something that you want to get.
So, I play out of a Fender Twin Reverb. It's really small, but it's really fucking loud. And my very favorite ever distortion pedal is my Hoof pedal by Earthquaker Devices, and just basic Boss digital delay. I would like to get some sort of octave. I just heard about this Pog pedal where you can do higher octaves and lower octaves.
Right.
And that would be fun to get the heavier more heavy and get the higher more ethereal and dreamy sounding. So
there you go.
That's my goal.
I recently got a new drum set. I've been playing a Mapex kit for the last year or so, and I love it. And I play all Sabian cymbals.
And beat the shit out of them.
I try to break them every time. So, but actually, right now I have my dream drum set that I've been spending my entire life trying to build. So,
all right.
Right now I'm kind of where I need to be.
That's
I'm
perfect.
pretty happy with it. So, yeah.
And Chris, what are you playing?
So I just acquired 2 new bass cabinets, both made by Mesa Boogie. It's the Diesel series. It's a 210 cab and a 118 cab. And I have a 2003 Fender American Precision bass. And I play out of a Navtone head. It's It's a company that my buddy builds custom-made amps. And my distortion pedal, I use a Boss ODB3.
Oh, right on, man. Thanks. I appreciate that. All right. So if you can go around each of you, the next question is, you can see it, who is your childhood crush? Famous crush, by the way.
Oh, it has to be famous.
Well, you can go unfamous. If only you can say somebody that's not famous only if you have a story about that person.
So I always had a crush on my dad. He was really artistic, musical, charismatic, funny, and just literally the coolest guy ever. And everything I wanted to do, I wanted to impress him. So hopefully I've impressed him.
All right.
I had Cindy Crawford posters all over my wall when I was growing up. Other than that, maybe Paula Abdul back then too.
Straight up.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. Did you wish that you were MC Scat Cat when she was dancing?
Yes, dude. Opposites attract,
yeah,
baby.
basically, yeah. It comes together when opposites attract.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Yeah.
Totally MC Scat.
All right. So yeah, I smell a merchandise T-shirt.
Yeah.
Something about drumming, scatting.
Maybe.
Well,
yeah.
scatting can mean a few different things. So maybe when they
especially
scat,
with the cat.
yeah. As long as you put cat with it, I think it's okay.
And no, if it's cats like bobcat scat, that's shit. That literally
that's
means
the shit right there, man.
Yeah.
And you're in the area for it. I tell you, man, I've seen bobcats like come up right up to the door, and I'm like, what the hell? And it's like a zoo out here. So it's like there's bobcats. I see coyotes and javelina. I came from Florida. It used to be alligators. I traded alligators for javelina.
Don't pet those.
And they snort, and they're just ugly, and they smell like, a lot of the people.
What does an alligator smell like?
Alligator, I don't know.
Does it smell like fish or?
I don't remember alligators smelling like anything, really.
Because it tastes like hot dogs.
Don't they? They're delicious.
Yeah,
you
it's
had
pretty
gator
good.
tail?
It's pretty good, yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
It tastes like a hot dog to me, though.
Yeah, you get a nice spicy mayo to dip it in.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm in. I'm totally sold. Chris, childhood crush, what do you got?
Alyssa Milano.
Oh.
And
Looks like Chris knows who the boss is. Yeah.
and Christina Applegate.
Oh, yeah. That's a good pull. I can see that.
Good choices.
All right, now.
Was it creepy that I said my dad? I was just trying not to say Kurt Cobain. So
Wait, say it again?
The only reason I said my dad was because I was trying not to say Kurt Cobain.
Oh, that's okay.
It's like I try to save it and then I just make it worse. Like that's just kind of what I do. Anyway,
She has daddy issues.
could you not tell?
So if Kurt Cobain was your dad, you'd be all good. It'd be fine.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I have it made.
Okay. What was the biggest success so far from Volume 2? What do you feel? Was it a review? Was it a tour? Was it a show? Was it some, I don't know, even some fan?
Well, the other night, Ruby's sister, she said she liked it better than Volume 1. So that was kind of nice.
And she's a real fan.
And she's a real fan.
She said it was really hard to turn her because she really loved Volume 1 so much.
All right.
And she was really battling within herself as to if she even liked Volume 2 at all. And then she gave it a couple more listens, and then she was like, okay, I think I like Volume 2 better.
So it gets the sister seal of approval.
Sarah. Yeah. And my sister has taste, just like my dad, but I don't have a crush on my sister. But she has taste.
As much taste as like Kurt Cobain?
More.
Okay. You heard it here first. Last question. What was your last favorite movie?
My least favorite movie or?
Least? How about least and last?
Okay, so I hate movies.
Okay.
They're way too expensive, and TV is really killing it right now.
All right, so let's switch it.
So we love Game of Thrones, although the last 2 seasons were terrible.
Okay.
Read the books. Barry is a really good show. It's on HBO. It's with Bill Hader. It's action, it's drama, it's comedy. It's really fucking good. And, of course, RuPaul's Drag Race.
Dramedy.
And, of course, RuPaul's Drag Race. RuPaul's going to take over the world, probably become president in 20 years. And, okay, I'm going to take the microphone away from myself.
Wow, you are a big fan of RuPaul.
I am.
You better work.
You better work. Yeah.
All right, Chris. Movie or TV show we'll go with?
The last movie I seen was Us. I seen that in the theater. I thought that was really good. It's directed by Jordan Peele, who's doing the doing the new Twilight Zone episodes, which I really like as well.
Now, I don't try not to ruin it or something, but was it like the last? Was there some kind of twisty reveal of any kind?
With the new Twilight Zones?
No, the Us.
Oh, the Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
All right, so we got this guy here. Have a seat for a second, Mr. Quinn.
We got a guy.
Yeah, this is more than a guy because let me tell you something. He's more than a man. And
I brought quarters.
And he is in a band that's going to be playing next week called Mosara. But you know what? I was talking to Ian from Stone Witch. Can you please tell me and remind everybody to go check out Bandcamp there was a previous band that you were in?
Yes.
Can you just talk about it for a hot minute?
The previous band I was in?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm John Quinn. The band I was in before was Secrets of Lost Empires. Secrets of Lost Empires was a stoner psychedelic rock band. And we were good earners for the promoters that were out about and nowadays. And we couldn't be more happier for what the scene is now and you guys coming through. Like what you did. Oh, my God, your fucking drums, dude. You ruled me, dude. Your bass and what you did vocally just was, like, ridiculous, dude. Like, we couldn't be more happier for what the scene is now and what you guys are doing for it. And coming all the way down here to our little club, Icke, and for us intimate viewers, thank you so fucking much. Like, you guys are keeping the pulse and the heartbeat alive. You really are by coming through, and you guys are giving like inspiration to the bands that are trying to do the pulse on itself here, home. Like, you guys are just like, yeah, this is why we do it. This is why we do it. Because they're doing what we're doing, but you know what? They're traveling doing it. So fuck you. You go to your zip code in your mail, and they don't. So, like, we're so fucking, like, appreciative of what you guys are doing. And it's so inspiring to see all these amazing bands that come through, you know. And it's a really, it's a special, like, viewing to be able to see your performance. Because nobody else has that. We got that. You gave that to all of us. And it was, like, whoever it was, and it was just for us. Like, you guys bled and died on that stage for us, and so what we strive to do every time that we go on stage as local artists, to emulate what the touring bands do, and to give the locals what a taste it is to, like, hey, come out. I know you know us, you see us all the time, but these bands, they're touring through, so come out and see them do even what you like even more meaningful, because like they're not just living here. They don't go home after this. They go to the next state, they go to the next city, they go to the next town. And like, you guys have been so extraordinary in like supporting the local scene, because we get to open for you boys and open for you girls and open for all your bands and everything that you guys do and stand for and really support what you guys are doing. Like, it's so admirable. It's absolutely admiration. Absolutely. Bars down. Admiration for what you guys do. And it's like, we just want to see you guys bigger, on bigger stages, bigger crowds, bigger sound, bigger backdrop, just louder and more heavier. Just give me more of these guys louder. Like, especially you guys. Fucking hell, dude. Like, oh my God, you guys were so good. You guys were so good.
You might want to hire him for some advertising.
Promo right here.
This is the fucking promo. I don't even. I think I got my new co-host is right here.
I tell you, man, like what you guys do for the scene is it's pivotal. It really is. You guys are movers and shakers in every little city that you guys play in. I guarantee you that. I will bet beers and ramen noodles on that. Yeah, totally. Yeah, and you guys totally rocked my ass tonight. And I got to be honest, I didn't really even know you guys before tonight until after tonight. I am a solid fucking fan, dude. And I know that you guys made a crowd of fans, and you guys absolutely changed influences in the forward promotion of what Arizona's trying to do. And Arizona has such a great scene, and it's almost sanctified. Like, they deserve it. Like, Arizona's scene has been so, like, sacrificing in the corner of the goddamn country. It's been so sacrificing of bands just, like, pit stopping through here and then, like, taking on their champion race. Onward through California, or onward through Nevada, or onward through anywhere, or gonna go up to Northwest Terrorfest, and let's go to Portland or Washington, and that's where the big crowds are and the big names are, and we're gonna play with these huge fucking bands. And any band that comes through here, like, you get such genuine, real love. You really do, because you guys are like coming here, and you're doing it. You're tightening up lugs, and you're tuning guitar strings, and you're drinking your water, and you're sweating, and you're blooding, and I gotta load it all in when I fucking leave, and you guys are doing it all for fucking Arizona, the desert, a little fucking... It's a crack in the hole, but goddamn, it is a goddamn crack in the hole, and you will make fans if you ever come to fucking Arizona. I guarantee you guys will, dude. Because you, on vocals, let me tell you, you will sweep everybody off their feet. And you on drums, you will inspire everybody to, like, break things. and you on bass, you give everybody... You made babies, if not one or at least two tonight. You made some, like, you give everybody this rhythm of just like, hey man, sway to this, sway to fucking this. And like, you guys were great. And a lot of bands do that here. I feel like a lot of bands, they give their all. They really, they die here. I feel a lot of bands die in Arizona. And why not? You have such a crowd of people that are just aching for, like, give me something, give me anything. And it's so inspirational. And the scene locally is blowing up so fucking huge. I'm so proud of it. I've been in this scene since 93. Let me tell you, when I used to play with Authority Zero, and I used to play, and it was like we had to promote shows at Tower Records, handing out flyers, man. Flyers. And everybody you handed your flyer to was a potential person. Nowadays, you just click a button, and, like, you've touched 3,000 people. Like, to nowadays, to see what it's evolved to, like, I see nothing but humbleness. I see nothing but greatness, and such a great future of the music scene. And Arizona's a part of it. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Bravo, brother. That was awesome, dude. Now, can you just give me an elevator speech for Mosara?
Okay. All right. So my band is Mosara, and I got two members. I'm lucky to have two members of the band Twingiant. I got lucky Dagger on bass, which is the legendary bass player from Vomitus. I don't know if you guys ever are familiar with that thrash punk genre, but Lucky is a staple in that fucking crowd. And I'm really blessed to be drumming with the Doom genre now. Like, I've been a fan of it since 2014, catching my last Terrorfest in Tucson, and being able to be like, I want to be part of this. This music speaks to me, and everything about it speaks to me. I want to be part of it. I want to do something. I know too many people, and I've been part of it for so long. I need to be part of it. And you guys coming through, you guys bringing the same faces in that I see at all the shows. Arizona support has the best fucking support, man. Like she said today from Earthless, what did she say? It's good to see so many familiar faces out there today. for her like pretty much debut band. For the band that opened for you guys.
Yeah, and this was their first show at Icke, and it's unfortunate they couldn't see the rest of the show because they're all under 21.
So young. They're so
They're
young.
just kids.
They got kicked out. Yeah, they got kicked out. They got totally kicked out.
But they fucking slayed.
And they are doing it, man. And like you guys, like what you're doing is so inspirational to those young acts and those bands that are coming up. And you know what? Case in point, a band like Thraw that's coming out of this state. Now, let me tell you, Thraw started just like Earthwalker. They weren't that good when they started. Thraw was just a bunch of fucking noise. And let me tell you, after a year and a half of watching them, I have a dozen shows under my belt of seeing Thraw. I've seen them open from everybody from who knows what all the way to Thou. At a secret Thou show.
Yep.
That Thou came through.
I was there tonight.
Thou came through for a secret fucking Thou show where only 30 people were there. And Thraw got to play for them. And Thraw earned their ranks all the way up. And because Thraw was able to do that is because of bands like you guys coming through and giving us the heartbeat, the life force, the breath in our fucking lungs to be like, yeah, don't fucking quit, man. I got to go to work tomorrow, but don't fucking quit. Yeah. Until that pivotal point happens where we're like in a van and we're touring and we're bleeding our dream. And you know what? Thraw's doing that now.
Yes, they are.
Thraw's doing that now.
They're crushing.
They're the students of that fucking work ethic, man. Let me tell you. Blood, sweat, and tears. And you guys are...
I just seen them open for Yob. They were really good.
Yeah. They got my uttermost respect and my utmost vote. Because like I've seen them when they started working out shit all the way to where they're a product now, and they figured it out.
Yeah, they're nailing it.
And it's so awesome. Arizona scene is just like so strong. And the Doom, I use the umbrella of Doom to cover you guys, everybody from All Them Witches, everybody.
Yeah.
All of us, all of us indie bands that would have been, you would have been indie alt rock in the 90s.
Right.
But I give it to all, like Doom covers all of us, misfits, all of us, the misfits, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we all fit in that. And the scene in Arizona is so supportive. And let me tell you, that is like the best coming up that I've seen in the scene in Arizona is the support that everybody, because everybody's calling everybody, hey man, you want to open for us? Can we open for you? We're available this night. Boom, this band's playing. We just got this gig. We need somebody. And the promoters too. The promoters are in on it too, man. Their promoters aren't fucking anybody over. The promoters are with it too. So you got promoters, the local bands, and the clubs all being in on it to bring you guys, like a talent like you guys in.
It's key when you're treated well as a performer, as an employee of the bar.
Thank you.
Just to get paid what you're...
And that's what it means. As a musician, you want to be appreciated. You just want to be appreciated. I'm up there...
Or at least paid what you're worth.
I'm up there transitioning oxygen for you, man. Like, dude, does it mean anything fucking to you at all?
And generating energy. And
I'm generating some fucking energy. I'm giving you some of my life force right now.
Making people thirsty.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you know what? To feel like, and the bands keep coming through, like you guys, and all these bands like keep coming through, like Paul Bear, Baroness, Church, Great Electric Quest. I mean, all these fucking bands that are from here, that are come through and they breathe through that life force and they believe in it. Thank you guys for coming and believing in Arizona. Thank you. Thank you so much, man.
Well, and you guys have the life force too. We're just like reminding you.
Thank you for seeing
reminding
that.
Us.
We do.
Yeah.
And my band Mosara is just like a sophomore in this game right now. They're the boys from Twingiant. They've been around for a while, and Lucky Dagger from Vomitus and my history. But like being able to just jump into it has been a blessing. It's been nothing but blessings because I'm like so honored to play with like the bands that I've been invoking and loving for the last like 3 years. I'm like, oh my God, I would love to play Doom. I would love to play Stoner Rock. I would love to play anything in this genre. And now you guys are like the headliners that are like giving me the aptitude to put my fucking band on that banner with you. Thank you. Fucking thank you.
Sounds like we have another opener for the next time you guys make a trip.
Hey, you guys.
What's your name, dude?
Daniel.
Daniel,
Yeah.
AJ.
Daniel.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Daniel.
Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you guys so much, man.
I appreciate that, and you're basically closing the place down. I just got the message
Sorry,
from
buddy.
security.
Yeah, they closed my tab out about 5 minutes ago.
So if I could give the mic to you guys, if you could tell us how to reach you all on social media and how to get your stuff.
Yeah, so we're on Bandcamp, bandcamp.beiramusic.com. We are on Facebook, Beira Music, on Instagram, Beira Music, @BeiraMusic.
I think we're even on our volume 2's on Spotify, I
Okay.
believe.
And we're also on Doomstew Records. You can buy our vinyl on doomstewrecords.com.
Go check it out. Chris, did you have a final word?
Also, the first album is on Transylvanian Tapes. You could look on their website. They have a ton of great bands on there. You can check out all of them. They're all great.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you letting one of the premier fans and a great dude and a great band member come on in and talk about everything. And I appreciate all the time that you give. Glad that we were on
Thank
this
you so
tour,
much.
and I'm glad you guys stopped on by to Arizona.
Thank
We
you.
thank you. Safe travels. Much success.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chris, for having us.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks so much.
You got it. We're out. Thanks so much to everybody in the band Beira. Thank you so much to John Quinn for giving us his soliloquy on Stoner Doom and Sludge and our scene as a whole. Thank you also to Ren. Thanks, brother. I know I apologize. I put you on the spot, but thank you so much for getting on mic. I really, really appreciate it. I think it's time. Let's hear a track off of Volume 2 from the band Beira. This is Circle. Thank you so much for sticking it out towards the end. If you did, you are my fucking hero. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone that has been leaving iTunes reviews. Sincerely appreciate it. Thanks to everyone that is also listening to the Doom Tomb Spotlight episodes. They have been going gangbusters and getting a lot more submissions on my side. So thank you to everybody. Really, really appreciate it. It's doomtombpodcast at gmail.com. We got a bunch of stuff coming up. I know we have an interview, a full interview with John and also Tony and Nikos from the band Mosara. That is coming up next. And then after that, I got a great interview with this guy, Marcello, based out of Canada, another Canadian band. Hey, anybody remember Pink Cocoon? Well, here's another Canadian band that you should all know about with an incredible vocal. What an incredibly produced album. That band is going to be called Gone Cosmic. Check it out. I loved it. We had such a great time doing the interview, and they are so good. They just sound so good on record. The producer, man, they just nailed it. Completely nailed it. So until that time, the next time, the meantime, and in between time, enjoy yourselves. Keep going to the shows. You know, I'll see you at those shows. Keep buying that band merch. And don't forget to stay heavy. This is the Doom Tomb Podcast, the podcast for all things stoner, doom, and sludge, where we do some long-form band interviews. And today we have all of the members from the blah, 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 blah.